welcome to The Skinny. This is Kelly, and yesterday at the Weight Watcher scale, I lost 0.4. Woot. Really happy about that. I'm solidly kind of in the middle of my weight range that I like to be in. Goal weight for me was 137. I'm currently like 135, so I'm kind of like in that space where I'm happy being 134, 135. So you're solid. I'm solid, feeling really good. You know, I want to talk about maintenance a little bit, and we'll do that today because some people ask me about that. You know, they say, well, why don't you talk a little bit about maintenance and how that works for you and how it maybe differs from what we're doing. I had a great weigh-in. I want to say last week I gained 0.6. Oh, and last week I lost 1.4. So I forgot to say that the week before. She's had 2 good weeks. I had 1.4 and then, yeah. And I've been like this. So I've kind of determined I'm at a plateau. I was at a plateau, and that explained a lot of my just not even where I felt like I had a great week and I gained. So this week, I was determined this week when she kind of tipped me off and Debbie kind of tipped me off that maybe you're at a plateau. I decided to try some different things, which I'll talk about later, and things you can do to shake it up for a plateau. So I really concentrated on, you know, tracking really carefully, watching some things, and being consistent. And I lost 2.8. Yeah. So I am back to my lowest weight, which is down 109.4. So finally I'm back to the point where my goal is to get my 110 down. And this week I am so determined to get there. Do it. Yeah. So yes. Yeah, and I think, you know, let's first maybe talk about some of the things where we differ right now, and I think that's also been a struggle for her. Is very much so. Is I eat a little different than you. Well, let me just preface this by saying, like, last week at one point we were having dinner with a friend, and she's like, "Well, let's go here," and I'm like, "No." Sometimes I have to put the kibosh because I said yes because she can be a little more flexible about some of the places she eats, and I know I can too. But I know some places are more difficult for me. Well, so I'm like, and I can be flexible in the respect that I am not losing. You can afford to gain I play within these little pounds, up and down, up and down, up and down, just like 2 pounds and 3 pounds. That's you know. So I have that. Talk about flexibility. I'm gonna say if there's no other reason to get to goal weight, truly, the payoff is really kind of wonderful because it's even, I think this is my personal journey. I think it's more flexible because I feel like I can say, you know, yes, we can eat here where we normally might not eat because I'm trying to lose. Yes, because I can truly count that meal. I can truly use weeklies and all my weeklies, and I would be okay. And while I want to say, with Weight Watchers, you really can pretty much eat most places. But you know what? There's some places I've kind of pushed aside because I don't want to pay the points that I've chosen those places not to be places I frequent. Yeah. Just because I don't feel like I'm getting good food and good things that I want for my points. So that's a choice. Yeah. True. And so I tend to be in that different space, and I sometimes, I think, make it hard for her because unintentionally we are in such different spaces in that respect. I need to get there, so we don't have to worry about this. But doesn't that make you want to be here more? Yes. Doesn't that motivate you? But you gotta help me. Do a solid for a sister. I am in a different places. There's nothing I can do about it. Well, just go there without me. Do you think, stuff like that you're going to do, just don't do it around me. We were in our meeting yesterday, and Leanne said, "Get back me, Satan." And me being Satan. I was like, great, now I'm Satan. Because I can gain a pound, I'm Satan. Just some moments I feel that way. Oh, some moments I'm like, just stop, we're not doing that. Do you want to split that? No. She'll say to me, do you want to just split that? No. Literally, she will say that to me. I'm sorry. It's not intentional. It's never intentional. You know, it's something we're going to share later. We were at our meeting, and I'd already had my liquid breakfast, and she's like, "You want to split that so we can try it?" No. Sometimes we're used to doing that, though. We're used to being able to do it. But I have agreed to split something today on camera so we can share, but that's because we're doing this.
for no other reason, where I'd be like, no.
It's kind of like, I kind of want her to get to go away because this is getting old. This attitude's getting old.
I have to be really like, I've gotten, and it took me a while to get here, and I think that might have been somewhat of my plateau, was I was struggling with trying to live somewhat in her zone, and somewhat in my zone, and that wasn't a good place to be. I needed to be firmly in my zone.
Yeah.
And I was too busy trying somewhat in hers.
It's almost like, you settle in, and I've set in, and she wants me to settle in with her.
This is why I've always weighed more than her.
And I'm gonna say, if anything would motivate you more, I'm telling you, I have to say, everybody says maintenance is hard, and maybe at some point it will become difficult for me, and I know I'll have difficult moments. I know I will. I'm still very new in maintenance. I've only been doing it for November, December, January, February, 4 months. So
but it's been pretty much cake for you this far.
It's been cake for me. I shouldn't say that, but it has been easy for me. And easy in the respect that I feel good. I feel like I have even more flexibility because I'm maintaining within this. And it's, when you're at this point, it's okay for you to gain and lose these 2-3 pounds. So,
because you have a good range that you love to be in.
I do. But when you're trying to lose, you're not trying to keep losing and maintaining the same 3 pounds. You're trying to go down, and it's totally different. So for me, it's like it is more flexible for me to be able to.
You have to help me get there by not suggesting places that I don't want to go, and by not saying, "Do you want to split that?" Unless it's actually splitting an actual meal. That's another thing.
And I'm so used to saying that. I'm so used to us splitting stuff that it just came out of my mouth.
It can't be just randomly and when I've not planned for it.
It just came out of my mouth. We share. I share stuff with you. I say, do you want some of this?
But you gotta think, Kimmy can't do that.
I know. I'm so used to us being in the same space.
I know. Well, then help me get there so we will be.
Oh, man.
How cool would that be?
Oh, we might be crazy if that happens. I don't know what'll happen.
It'd be so much better. I need to get there, people.
Anarchy.
I need to get there.
So, what is your goal continuing to get there? Because you're like, so how far are you from it now?
Okay, I am 12-ish, probably. Yeah, I'm like 12, 13-ish. And here's the thing, I with freestyle, it's still a work. I'm still a work in progress with freestyle, and that's okay. I mean, I'm not upset anymore by it. I'm just kind of working it. And what I'm doing is I am double tracking.
You're still doing that.
I have to say, for the last couple of days, toward the end of this week, I kind of fell off, which was good. That means I was starting to feel some comfort. But I'm going to continue to do that just because for someone like me who's been doing it, the SPs, for so long since they started them, for people like us, some people like us who've been with SPs for so long, we have a difficult time adjusting to that freedom. More so than people who are brand new. Brand new people are just like, sweet, I'm loving it, and they just roll right into it. Yeah. The rest of us have that
conditioning.
We're conditioning. We have what we eat. We like what we eat. It's a hard transition. So
for some,
I highly recommend, if you are having some struggle like I am, try the double tracking. Yes, it's extra effort.
It is.
I track on my phone one way, track on my phone my spiral track journal the other way.
Yeah.
And it just kind of gives me a look. And I'm not going to tell you what my numbers track out to be because they're going to be different than yours. Yeah. And I don't want to do that.
No.
But it lets me see point-wise how my freestyle looks.
What does it look like
when I'm losing?
What does that look like?
What does it look like in smart points? And it kind of gives me that gauge. And I think if you see that and it's more concrete, I think it makes it easier to go, okay, so if I do like 1 or 2 servings a day of free things, or give up this and do a serving this and stay within at 18 to 23, or if I stay 15 to 18 of the freestyle SPs a day, I'm good.
Yep.
So it'll give you a look at it.
Yeah.
And I think that might help. It's helped me. And I'm going to give it another couple of weeks where I'm just doing it and really kind of watching what's happening and see what's working and what's not working for me.
Yeah, and for me, and for the opposite, freestyle's been fine for me, and that's another difference that we're encountering. I'm not double tracking right now, and for me, it's been fine.
Yeah.
I've made an okay transition, and it's been working.
Yeah.
So it's, and again, I do think there's even more flexibility in maintenance. And I'm just going to say that I think that's a huge plus to get in there.
True.
It's a motivator.
And I have to say, I think one of my problems, obviously, was maybe less freestyle and just as much plateau.
I think one of the things that Debbie said to you, this is Debbie that we follow on Instagram, and she recommended with a plateau, she's like eat a foods or a meal that might be something completely different than what you've been eating, and kind of maybe even a little more than you normally would. So, and we encountered that twice this week.
We had 2 funerals this week. Our uncle and a very good friend's father, and of course you're eating what's there. You don't always know what's going to be available, and I made it work, and I was so proud of myself, and I felt good about my choices.
But I think there was something in the really changing up
was different.
2 main meals for you that were very different and
involved.
And
one
of them was on Friday.
Yeah. And I even ate out that Friday night for dinner because we just had so much going on.
Right.
And I still lost 2.8. So I think here's what I did to shake up my week. I went into my week doing my double tracking, but I also went into it trying to really keep my water going, trying to be, really consistent with my snack choices, like fruits. I gotta say, I think 1 or 2 days I ate no bananas.
Yeah.
I ate apple instead or grapes or whatever.
Changing it from your norm.
Yes, from my norm. I did not eat more than 1 banana a day. No more than 1, which for me is really good. Because a lot of times for the most part, I might do 2. But no, I 1 has been my maximum.
And not that bananas were bad. We're not saying not to eat bananas, but
for me.
For you, and also not to mention that they are a higher caloric fruit than others.
Yes.
So and since your body's used to getting that banana every change is
and I
helpful.
have to say I was kind of looking up things that you could do for a plateau, and I'm going to tell you some of the things I found, and I'm going to kind of address if I did that or didn't do it. One of the things I thought was really interesting was they said to rotate your routine. And I somewhat did this week, just by virtue of where meals fell, times of meals.
We ate very late one couple days, and
so I did kind of vary my routine, which, I'm routine oriented. So maybe vary your routine if possible, even if it's like
when you're eating, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised. So I may try to do that this week, maybe 1 or 2 days, have a later dinner than normal, and see if I can kind of...
does anything.
I'm going to keep doing them. I'm going to keep trying to, even though it's really hard for me, because I'm very routine driven.
That could be your problem.
Could be my problem. Who knows? But you know what? I'm going to really try. That was just by virtue of how it happened. But when I read that, I was like,
maybe that's what happened.
Fluids, which I did, and very much concentrate on drinking.
Yep.
Sleep. I have to say, sleep was rough this last week, but I still got sleep. There were some times I was up like 4 o'clock in the morning just hanging, going, I guess I should just get up. I did have some of those, and I would get up and get moving, and maybe that was a good thing. Move more. I did move more. There were several days, obviously, that my work routine was different, and I was moving and up and about for hours at a time.
Right.
So yes, nibbling. They say to watch nibbling.
No nibbling.
Like, did you, clean your plate? Are you cooking? Are you nibbling when you're cooking?
I try never to do that.
But you know what? People do unconsciously.
You do it unconsciously, true.
Pay
attention. I try not to do that.
Pay attention when you're cooking and try to see if you catch yourself doing that. You don't. Or the big culprit I used to do, and you did, heaping. When you're measuring stuff out.
We don't heap anymore.
But sometimes you just gotta be conscious of it. But sometimes it's unconscious because you're in a hurry.
It's true.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
And
I used to be a big, you know what I heap with the most? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to confess my heaping.
Okay.
I would always heap when I made Kodiak pancakes. I was a heaper with that.
Can I tell you what I tend to heap with? And I don't mean to, but I do it.
Yeah.
Peanut butter.
Oh, you heap
the Jif Whips with peanut butter.
Okay, I'm going to confess. You're right. If I really have to think, you're right.
That's the
biggest part. I would be lying if I didn't say I heaped a little bit on my tablespoon.
Yeah. I admit that. I really am going to admit that right here now.
Yeah. So those 2 things, the Jif Whips And I stopped. Well, yeah, I stopped doing it on the Kodiak cakes, but
I don't think we haven't had those in a while.
You're right. Oh, it's the Jif whips I do heap a lot.
And I have to say another way our routine varied last week. We ate out a lot last week. Shocker, shocks.
And maybe that's just another thing that just went with your system.
Because we pretty much eat at home for the most part. And, maybe eat out maybe twice a week, maybe. But last week, quite a bit. Yeah.
Interesting. Oh.
One of the other things I saw was more protein, in which
you had a fair amount.
I had a fair amount of protein.
I didn't quite because our routine was kind of so crazy last week. I expected when I saw it was minus 0.4. I was surprised it wasn't plus 0.4.
So were you worried about me? Is that why she toddled over to my scale? She's probably thinking,
I toddled over
off the edge. She's going to go off the edge.
Yes. I did think that because it was not a typical routine week and because there were things you were saying, I'm doing my best. I'm making a guess. I'm eating this and I'm doing my best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
I think so. I think Debbie was right, though. I think that might have been.
Is it a plateau?
It might have just shook you up a little bit.
I'm going to push forward. And one of the things that Kelly, we did Friday when we were at the reception from one of the funerals was that when we got a bun for a sandwich, we split it. I got one. I just did open face.
Pick one. Yeah.
And I was very proud that we did that. We were conscious enough that we
made every effort because I
effort.
hate to use this whole real food, like not food that I prepare, but food that's, when you go through a buffet and you're being served food and this is what you have to eat. You're not ordering off of a menu.
Yes.
You go in and it's like, I never want to be one of those people that says, well, I can't eat, so I'm not going to eat it all.
Yes.
No. That's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through that line and I want to make the best choices I can.
Yeah.
So what we did, we split the bun. I did pulled chicken. I did pulled pork. I
put a little skosh of sauce. Barbecue sauce.
Went through. I got it was probably a half a cup tablespoon of, you could get mac and cheese and other things. I got maybe half of a half cup, so probably a fourth of a cup of the mac and cheese on my plate. I put a little bit of potato salad,
fourth of a cup
of that.
Fourth a cup of the coleslaw.
And I think that was it. And
I was really proud.
Didn't
the
go
dessert
back.
table was gorgeous. I did a little oatmeal cookie.
Yeah. I mean, and you would
proud.
pass the dessert table
and waft of smell. And I was very proud of myself.
So I think we really, but that was what was on the menu, and I was going to eat.
And it was delicious. The caterer was phenomenal.
Yes, and I was going to eat. And so those are the choices I made. I could have said, I'm just going to indiscriminately have a huge serving spoon of all of those things.
Nope.
But no, it's like, go in and make a smart choice. And you're allowed to eat this.
And I was full.
I was full.
Agreed. And I was comfortable and I was satisfied. And if if I hadn't been, what I would have done, I even decided if this isn't enough, I had made that decision. If this isn't enough, I'm going to go back up and just get a spoonful of the plain shredded chicken.
I was going to do the same.
And just and fill me up.
And that's another thing.
But I was completely satisfied.
To consider if you're ever in a situation like that, where you don't know exactly what's being served, and
you
go
can
through
go
that
back.
line. If you go through and you get small bits of things, and like that plate that I had, and I ate that, and you think, I'm still a little hungry. You've been through there. You know what protein is on the bar. You know what's there. Go back, get more protein. Just don't add anything to the protein. Just go get some more protein. Eat that and see if that satisfies you. Because that's what you want your plate to be, probably the basic. I mean, that was the biggest part of my plate, was the protein. And the small part was just the sides.
And Tuesday's reception, it was at my aunt's home, luckily, and she had my skinny girl dressing. So I had a big salad that had no points to it. And I was very conscious of what went on my plate, and the food was delicious.
A big chunk of protein.
And when I ate whatever with the small amount on my plate, when I went back for something, I got some fruit.
Yeah.
Ate some fruit. And I did have I was so proud, a tiny, tiny piece, because it was homemade and her church was so lovely to do this. I did a small amount of the pineapple upside down cake, and it was delicious.
And I did a bigger slice because
she did.
Again,
she could.
Maintenance, the freedom of maintenance.
That's
kind of where we're differing. Where I could have what I would consider a regular slice of cake. Okay, a regular slice of cake. She had half.
And my even prouder moment was someone had made this lovely apple cobbler thing. One bite.
I can't believe you mentioned it.
No, one bite.
It was
delicious. I ate one of the apples so I could get the
flavor
flavor
of
it.
too. It was almost one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth.
But you know what?
It was fabulous.
One bite.
That was
I
it.
felt like I got to try it, and then I went and pushed it to everyone else who's like, if you haven't had that in there, go get it. And it was delicious.
Yes. Let me put it to you this way. I felt like I could taste every speck of butter on my tongue.
It was delicious.
And sugar. And with that in my mouth.
Didn't
And it was
want
fantastic.
well, you had a little bit more. You probably had what, 2 bites?
I had a bite, and then I took another thing to have somebody else try it, and I ate half of that little bite.
Yeah,
because they just took enough to try it.
You know what? But clearly, making those right choices this week, 2.8.
Yeah, and it's you get in situations sometimes that aren't
Ideal.
and they're
Unexpected.
It's life. And you just have to go and make the best choice you can. Instead of saying, forget about it. We're just going to, we're going to eat whatever the heck we want and gain. I can't do anything about this. I have to eat it all. No,
you don't.
There's some planning. Mm-hmm. We had plenty of time we were helping set up. So we saw the food plenty early before everybody else got there. So we knew what was there. And we were already in our head thinking about it. So take a minute. Don't rush through the line.
And just grab.
Get a look. Think and then go through.
We have stuff to share.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We do.
Let's do this first because I want to try it.
Yes.
Weight Watchers has a new product.
The protein bar.
They came out with the peanut butter protein bar and then the chocolate protein bar.
And there are 2 points.
Those are 2 points. This is the 3. It's like they merged them together.
And apparently we were told in our meeting that this is like eating one of those $1,000 gram bars.
$1,000 gram bar with a Girl
Tag-along,
Scout tag-along
cookie.
So
we're going to find out.
That's what they look like.
And we need to say we have not opened it, so we're going to do so.
3 points, so we're going to split it. See, here we are splitting it.
But you know what? I'm throwing myself under the bus for you. I'm trying it.
This is what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Okay. It's a knife.
I'm going to need glasses for this. I can't do anything without glasses.
Okay.
You want me to be equal?
Yes, be equal. No, it's not. Let's go that way. Go this way.
Oh, really?
Yes.
There's a bump right there. It won't let me. Okay.
All right.
This is what the inside looks like. It's like a nougat in a...
Oh, my
a
word.
something or other. Yeah.
Now, I will tell you...
Cheers.
I will tell you, 9 grams of protein apparently in this bar.
Oh, my...
Oh, wow. That's delish. That was like the most amazing candy bar.
I think I like it better than the raspberry bars. The raspberry chocolate bars.
No, I love those too.
It has like a crispy, crunchy thing on the
And I love the
little
toffee.
crisps on the top.
And I love the toffee bars too.
Yeah, it describes it as a baked soft cookie center. Only 3 grams of sugar.
There's crisps in it.
And 9 grams of protein.
Man.
It's good.
I love the hear it?
Can you hear it?
I love crunchies.
I love the crispies on the top. Like Rice Krispies on the top.
But there's not a ton of them.
No,
It's good.
Okay, got a couple products to share. Well, this one,
Let me finish chewing.
it's a personal fave. We both love Cracker Barrel. Listen to me. Cracker Barrel sugar-free syrup because it's 0 for 1/4 of a cup.
But this is not 0 for 1/4 of a cup. It's 1. 2 tablespoons is 0. But it tastes... Sometimes you just can't get out to Cracker Barrel.
Yeah,
Does not taste like sugar-free.
Log Cabin sugar-free.
You have no idea it's sugar-free.
And what I love about it is you don't have to refrigerate it. So it doesn't get thick. So it goes a lot farther.
So 2 pieces of French toast, 2 tablespoons does it.
yeah,
I don't need to add more.
And it keeps that nice thin consistency that spreads farther.
No
I
refrigeration
love
required.
this. As you can tell, it's getting almost gone. So
Delicious.
it's really, really good. It's a fave.
Another thing that's become like I said, mixing things up.
For me, this is just...
I like it. It gives me a little, it's refreshing. It's a snack that's so extremely low.
It's okay.
Hey, it worked for me last week. So just saying. It's Jell-O, actual Jell-O. This one's the black cherry. So it's 10 calories per cup. It's delicious. It has this really refreshing taste. And I love it. She doesn't have to like it, so it's a 0. You need something in the afternoon, just something that really just tastes refreshing. It tastes good. It's smooth going down. Maybe do one of these because it's 0.
I think it's a little bit of the weird texture for me. I know I grew up with Jell-O.
I
Grew
love
up with
it.
Jell-O, but
I love it. So
Okay.
more for me.
More for you. Okay. This product is so fabulous. It's already empty. So we've already been through it this week.
But not too badly because I still lost 2.8.
Yes, it was counted. This was shared by, on Instagram, sweetmimi_WW. Thanks for sharing this with us because it is delish. What this is, it's Pillsbury. It's a frosting. It's a chocolate peanut butter frosting, and it's got Jif peanut butter in it. It's by Pillsbury.
They must use the Jif whips is what I'm thinking.
And it's a frosting. And it is about the same points.
It's about the same consistency
as the Jif whips. See?
That,
all gone.
all gone. But that
We
same
didn't lick it
fluffy,
the inside out,
same fluffy
I thought about it.
consistency as the Jif whips is what it is.
It spreads really far.
very far.
So it's not whipped icing though.
No.
Don't it's like the Jif
Whips
consistency of the peanut butter Jif whips. And there's also a peanut butter version and a chocolate peanut. This is the chocolate peanut butter. There's the only
What's
two.
the pointage?
It is for 2 tablespoons. It is 2.2 SPs for 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
And
Which is Jif whips.
5 SPs for 2 tablespoons.
You
Now,
don't need to.
I tend to use 1 tablespoon
You don't need to.
on a brownie. That's what we did.
Okay, so I'm going to just refresh on this recipe because it's one of our faves.
Yes.
You can take the sugar-free, this is the chocolate fudge brownie mix. There's also milk chocolate. There's a couple of different ones. Put this in a bowl. You can either add 1 egg or you can do egg beaters. I think it's a 1/4 cup of egg beaters.
I've been adding an egg.
Yeah, she's been doing an egg. We've been doing an actual egg.
It makes it fluffier.
It does make it
rises
fluffier.
more.
And then we add in a cup of either Diet Dr. Pepper, Coke Zero, Diet Coke,
Whatever.
just a dark diet soft drink.
Yep.
You could even probably use the stevia drinks. They have the dark ones.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
one's called stevia. You could probably use that.
Yeah.
And you could probably use, if you don't want to use the sugar-free brownie. I know Duncan Hines has a low-fat brownie,
But this
you could
one-
use that.
Yeah, but just for sake of this one,
For sake of this one,
it goes in an 8x8 pan,
Yes.
a greased Pam spray, an 8x8 pan, 350 oven for 30 minutes.
Dunsey.
You can cut it into 6. If you cut it into 6 brownies, it's 5 points per brownie, and that makes a
Big slice.
sizable brownie.
And obviously put in your recipe builder because then you can adjust the pieces. Say you want to
Yes,
cut it into 9. And then maybe
Yes.
do 1/2 tablespoon of that. You can totally do that.
But together, what I will say, if you cut them in 6 pieces, it's 5 for this, and for a tablespoon, it's 2. So it's 7 points for dessert if you've saved that much.
yeah, if you're just going for a totally decadent dessert,
You can do it.
You could do that.
Or you cut this into 9, put it in your recipe builder, change the points, and do half.
Yes,
like
half
I
a
think it's
tablespoon.
half a tablespoon, and make it 1
point.
SP.
Yeah.
But what I like about is the great flavor together with the chocolate peanut butter and the chocolate. But what I do recommend is if you make this, refrigerate it. Once they're baked, put them in the refrigerator because they
Let
get
them cool first.
Yes, they get really moist.
And they
I mean,
do.
like wet.
And they would turn green if you
I
don't.
think it's
Because if you don't eat them quickly, they're going to turn green. We don't rush through them. We don't
No.
have them every day.
No.
So we put them in the fridge and they're nice.
And they makes it nice and fudgy. I personally like them cold. You can nuke them if you want when you take them out.
We eat them cold. They're better cold.
But I noticed when we wouldn't refrigerate it, they would go bad really fast. They just don't have like certain things like oil added. You're not adding oil, so there's things you're not adding that they don't sit well.
And I will say, if you don't do the sugar-free, definitely check out the low-fat brownies and maybe the egg and maybe do the stevia
Put 'em in your
soft
recipe
drink.
builder.
Put it on your phone. Just load it all in the recipe builder. Select your servings and work it out, which is what I did with this one. And you could totally work that out and do it without doing the sugar-free because I know some people don't like that.
Yeah.
So that's a way to kind of make that work for you.
Yeah. So we will see you next week.
Hitting my 110 now.
Oh, I hope so. I don't
better.
hear about it. We'll see you
Yep.
next week.
Bye.
Later.